Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Bible. My name is Rogan, and you are watching... Oh, there it is. The Mysterious Stoner in a Bowler. And today we are continuing the story of Moses and the Israelites. Last, we went through a bunch of plagues and everything, and God was hardening Pharaoh's heart over and over and over and over again, keeping him from making the right decision to let the Israelites go because God wanted to show off. Well, God was not quite done showing off just yet. Yes, he allowed Pharaoh to finally allow the Israelites to leave after God killed all the firstborn in Egypt. And that went for both the Egyptians and the Israelites. Anyone who did not put blood over their doorposts and all those special instructions. I don't know if Pharaoh got those instructions. I'm going to guess that he didn't. But it doesn't matter. We don't know if he was told or not. But the Israelites, of course, they knew. Did some Egyptians know? We don't know. The Bible does not say. But after that terrible night happened and God had his way of killing people again, like he didn't get enough of it in the plagues, he finally allowed Pharaoh to let the Israelites go. And not only that, but it actually says that God gave the Israelites favor in the eyes of the Egyptians, and the Egyptians started to give away all their gifts, their treasures and their gold and everything valuable to them, to the Israelites. I don't know if I'm imagining it was more of a please go away and don't ever come back and don't do anything else ever to us ever again. We're sorry, we were very mean to you, goodbye. Maybe that was their attitude. That would actually make sense to me if that happened. I would be on the same page as the Egyptians, like, please, fuck. Sorry, we were mean to you. Please go. Here's the $100 to get you as far away as possible from me. I mean, the Egyptians went through a lot of shit, and completely against their will, and as it seems, completely against the will of the Pharaoh, because it said over and over and over again that God hardened Pharaoh's heart. And it happens again after the Israelites have already left. In chapter 14, God hardens the heart of Pharaoh again. And he gathers his armies, and it even says, where it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and of his servants was turned against the people. Like, the Israelites are gone, and all of a sudden they're gone, and now that they're gone, Pharaoh and his Egyptians are like, wait, what did we do? This was a terrible idea. All our slaves are gone. Who is going to build for us now? Now we have to do all the really hard work and the bullshit we had them doing. But it was God doing this. And between chapter 4, in fact, chapter 4, verse 21, was the first time God mentions that he would harden Pharaoh's heart. From there, all the way through to chapter 14, all the way to the end, 17 times it is referred to. And I may have missed one or two, possibly, because I didn't underline all of them initially, and I just now went back to try and find all of them, and I found a total of 17. But 17 times, at least, the Bible says or refers to that God hardened the hearts. Well, most of the time it was the heart of Pharaoh, just him. But he does it, it implies that he does it to all of the Egyptians at least twice among all those times. So I'm including Pharaoh in that. So about 17 times total, it is very clear that God is forcing the Egyptians, as well as their king, to do and feel what he wants them to do. He is not giving them free will, you see. He is brainwashing them or something. He is controlling them all like fucking puppets. He is not giving them a choice in the matter. But Pharaoh and all his Egyptians are like, oh no, what did we do? We got rid of our slaves. We should go get them back. So Pharaoh gathers his armies, they get their chariots, and he's got his best 600 chariots, it even mentions, and then plus all the rest of the chariots that he has left, which I find hard to believe that he could make use of all his chariots, because he lost if this story is true, he lost a lot of livestock in the previous plagues. I feel like he should have less animals to be able, the ratio of chariots should be larger than his military set of animals, I would think. But whatever. We must go along with this story, because this is how this story goes. And so Pharaoh and his army is chasing the Israelites through the wilderness. Or they're trying to go catch up to them. And initially, and it's interesting, it says, well, the Israelites are out there and following Moses. To show them where to go, God sends down a pillar of a pillar of cloud, a cloudy pillar, a pillar made of a cloud, basically. And it even said that he was in it, and he was literally guiding them through the wilderness through this cloud. And then at night, which I don't know why they would travel through the night, because they have children and old people with them that need to rest and can't travel on all night like younger people can. But whatever. But when they traveled at night, instead of a cloud, it would be a pillar of fire. Which to me sounds pretty fucking cool, to be honest. I mean, it's a pillar of fire appearing in the sky, well, maybe not in the sky, but like directly in front of you, to where you can actually like follow it, and it's guiding you. It sounds like a fucking video game. So I imagine that would be really cool to see. My question about this is, if God really cared about the Egyptians and proving his power to them, and saving lives and souls and not needlessly killing people, why could God not just create this pillar of cloud or this pillar of fire right there in front of Pharaoh. He did it for the Israelites out in the wilderness where there was no one else to see. And it was a completely unnatural thing to witness. But then, but someone else did get to witness it. All the people, all the enemies that would later die. Spoiler. Oh, but just wait till you hear how they die. They are, the Egyptians and Pharaoh catch up to the Israelites, right? But God uses the pillar of fire to cut off the Egyptians so they can't get to the Israelites. So, okay, also kind of cool. Why not just use the pillar of fire to, I don't know, kill Pharaoh and the Egyptians right there? No, he wants to drag this out again. He has a much, like killing, like he could instantly like incinerate them all. They wouldn't even have to feel that much pain in their death. But God decided to do it the slower way. They get to the Red Sea, and they are kind of led into a corner. They cannot go anywhere. They have the Egyptians on one side of them and the Red Sea on the other. They literally have nowhere else to go. And they are kind of fucked. Well, and then God pulls his... Like, he must have been waiting for this or something. He must have been dying to show this move off. It says a strong east wind comes in and blows on the sea and makes the sea rise up into walls of water, like a huge fucking valley. And it says there was literally dry ground going through the bottom, so that the Israelites could just walk right through. Not too far behind, while the Israelites are still going through the Red Sea between these walls of water, God removes the pillar of fire and lets the Egyptians come charging in. But then he starts hold on. He lets them charge right in. In this narration, it mentioned brief. I'm not quite sure where it mentioned it, but it says for the last time that God hardened Pharaoh and the Egyptians were with him, and they charged in. Let me ask you this: if you were chasing someone that you really hated, say you even had a good reason, and you chased them to a river, a very big and deep river, and all of a sudden the water just magically goes whoop, and the person you're chasing goes running through safely to the other side. This is an unnatural occurrence. Are you, in your right mind, willing to, let's say you can't swim for whatever fucking reason, or it's just way too far for you to make it to the other side, in your right mind, are you going to run after that person into the river? Because you don't know when this deal is going to come crashing down on you, and you're going to be at the bottom of a fucking river that is far over your head. This is the Red Sea. This is a much bigger scale. Are you in your right mind really going to run through there in pursuit of your enemy, who very possibly could have conjured this phenomenon and can release it. They're going through like it's no big deal. Are you really in your right mind going to chase them through it? These Egyptians were not in their right mind. God literally forced them to go charging into the Red Sea. He made the ground muddy so that their chariots got stuck and they couldn't pursue the Israelites. And then, while the Egyptians are struggling with their chariots and shit, then I suppose God just lets up on them because they suddenly become afraid and they want to run, and they're afraid of the Israelites' God. All of a sudden, now they're scared. Not after the plagues, not after the pillar of fire that kept them from getting to the Israelites before now, not these big-ass waves. Well, now, all of that combined, because God forced them to be stupid and illogical all the way up to this point. And then God drowned them all. And strangely enough, there hasn't been that many chariots recovered from the Red Sea. They found one at one point. I remember my father being all excited about some Christian documentary about finding evidence for the Bible. All Christians get excited about that. It's never nearly enough evidence to really prove these stories in full. It's like for the chariots, they did not find 600 chariots sunk at the bottom of the Red Sea. And no one else, where else would have those chariots been? How else would they have disappeared? Why would there only be like one or two or half? I don't remember the number, but it wasn't 600. And there were more than 600 down there, according to this story. I'm just saying. I smell bullshit. And then the Israelites celebrate, and they have a song, and all in celebration. It straight up says, fuck, I need to read it to you because it's just listen to it. It says, "Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore." The Lord saved Israel that day? Really? Really? He saved them. Oh, is that what you call it? That's what you call saving? Brutally slaughtering your fucking enemies, forcing them. God forced Pharaoh from the beginning to drag this whole thing out just so he could show off. So they could get to the Red Sea, so he could drown them in the water, so he could kill their firstborn children, so he could destroy their livestock, destroy their farms and everything, strike them with lice and frogs and hail and fucking flies out the ass. He hardened their hearts. He forced them to hold on to Israel. He didn't save Israel. He destroyed Egypt. He wrecked Egypt. He could have done it so much easier if he was so fucking powerful. If he had not hardened their hearts, what would have happened? Oh no! They would have all lived and been happily gone back to being as they were before the Israelites showed up. And the Israelites could go off and do their thing in the wilderness, and the Egyptians could go on living happily. No, God couldn't have that. He had to fucking kill everyone. Well, not everyone, but mostly everyone. Just so he could show off. He couldn't let them be themselves, make their own logical choices, and just show them a fucking pillar of fire. Like, hey, I'm Jehovah, these are my people, let them go. Thank you. He couldn't do that. Huh? He had to fucking kill everyone. Oh. But here's what some Christians will tell you. Well, they probably had the disease, and God needed to make sure the Israelites didn't have it, and that it didn't get around to the other nations. Bull fucking shit! God, if he is so fucking powerful, can cure any sort of disease. Jesus fucking did it! Jesus cured fucking leprosy, supposedly, long before the modern day cure for leprosy existed. No, God does not get off the hook in this story. Absolutely not. And I'm sorry if that offends you, but it is the truth. It is right there in the fucking Bible. Read it for yourself if you don't believe me. Okay? 17 times. 17 fucking times it says that God hardened Pharaoh's heart and the hearts of the Egyptians. You cannot ignore that in good conscience. You cannot ignore that God is able to cure diseases. You cannot ignore the fact that God could have done something far more peaceful to prove himself to the Egyptians. You cannot ignore the fact that God forced the Egyptians against their will to not let the Israelites go. You cannot ignore the fact that God did not save the Israelites worth a shit. He kept them safe while he did all this shit, all this bullshit with the Egyptians. Okay. Sure, he fucking did that. He didn't have to kill all the Egyptians in the process to prove himself. It's bullshit. And it's bullshit that people worship him and think he's so fucking holy and think he's perfect. He's not. He is a horrible deity. And I am very glad he is not real. I'm sorry for getting loud and going on much longer than ranting. I took this shit seriously growing up. I believed all this bullcrap. But now I will say goodnight. I'm more tired than I ought to be, and I'm under a lot of stress right now with a lot of serious things on my mind. Family matters and things of that nature. And work as well, of course. But I hope that if you call yourself a Christian or any sort of person who believes in the Bible, I don't mean to hurt you or offend you. You're not. It's not entirely your fault that you think it's true, but really, you need to think before you choose what you believe. You need to come up with a sense of logic outside of God. You can. It can be done. Don't use the Bible for your guidebook on life, though. It doesn't have enough good things in it to guarantee that you will be the best person you can be. It really doesn't. It has some good things, but it has a lot of terrible things as well. And this is one of them. It's God. The God of the Old Testament, anyways. I'm sorry if I've offended any Jews or Hebrews or anything. I'm sorry. This is the story, how it goes. I am laying it out for you, how the book says. I just want you to be free of this bullshit like I've become. Stop wasting your life on it. I don't want others to waste their life on it either. It's why I'm doing this. I care about my fellow humans. Perhaps more than I should, but I can't help it. It's just part of who I am. I've accepted that. I can't bear the thought of another person going through what I went through from having believed all this trash, this toxic set of beliefs. I hope you will take what I have said to heart. Read the book for yourself if you haven't. With a logical mind. Don't just accept that God does things because it's his mysterious way. No. If he really gave you that brain and he really expects you to use it, fucking use it and question him and ask him. Heroes of the Bible tested and asked God, and they lived to tell about it. It's okay if you do too. And guess what? I dared to challenge and test God myself. And I lived to tell the tale. And you can hear about it in my other videos, which do not get nearly as dark as this. Ever. Seriously, this is only the second one, and I am sort of disappointed in myself for letting it go as long as it has. I even skipped some time to try and get extra light, but clearly I did not have enough light. So, let's wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed this video. I apologize for getting loud and upset, but I hope you will take what I said seriously, because I mean every single word of it. There is no excuse for this God. But I hope you will have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and that I will see you and hopefully not fade into blackness next week. Until then, my friends, farewell and stay safe.